Have you ever looked at someone so calm, so steady, and wondered what's happening behind their quiet eyes? What if I told you that person could be a Taurus? And what if I told you their silence hides powers you might never expect? Most people think Taurus is just stubborn. Maybe slow. Maybe boring. But the truth is, Taurus is one of the most emotionally powerful signs in the zodiac. Quiet, steady, but deep. Very deep inside. They hold hidden weapons. Emotional endurance. Quiet leadership. Loyalty that doesn't break. And a sensual, mindful heart that can heal the people around them. Today, we're going to explore those powers. You'll discover 18 secret strengths of Taurus, real insights, not just traits you read in a horoscope. This is about understanding their mind, their heart, and maybe even yourself. So, stay with me. Because the next few minutes will open your eyes to the real Taurus. The one who builds stability in chaos. The one who loves in silence, but protects with ferocity. And hey, before we begin, remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. It's a small click for you, but a big help for me to create more content like this. Ready to dive deep? Let's discover the hidden power of Taurus. Taurus is not just a sign. It's a whole experience. When life gets hard, when people around you fall apart, Taurus doesn't. They don't collapse under pressure. They don't let their emotions swallow them whole. Instead, they stand still. Not because they don't feel, but because they've mastered the art of feeling without losing themselves. Have you ever seen someone carry heartbreak and still smile softly to others? That's a Taurus in survival mode. But their secret? They're not just surviving. They're transforming. Every pain, every betrayal, every disappointment, it doesn't destroy them. It teaches them. They don't rush to heal. They allow pain to flow through them, like a river through stone. Over time, they become stronger. Not colder, stronger. And in that strength, they become protectors. Not just of themselves, but of everyone they care about. Think about someone who always makes you feel safe. Who you call when life falls apart. That's Taurus energy. Their protective instinct is not loud. It doesn't shout, "I'll protect you." It simply builds walls without words. Emotional walls. Where you can rest. They don't do this for attention. They do it because your safety matters more to them than their own comfort. You may never even notice the ways they guard your heart, until one day you realize you've never felt so safe with anyone else. But don't mistake their loyalty for weakness. A Taurus chooses their people carefully. When they trust you, it's not accidental. It's intentional. They've watched you. They've listened to you. And when they decide you're worth their loyalty, it's for life. They don't half love. They don't half care. But betray them, and you'll see that loyalty evaporate. Not in anger, but in silence. Because to Taurus, loyalty is sacred. Once broken, it doesn't return. They won't explain. They won't argue. They'll simply close the door and walk away. This choice to stay loyal isn't about needing you. It's about valuing you. And once Taurus no longer sees that value, they choose themselves. That's power. That's strength. And for those who've earned their loyalty, Taurus becomes the foundation under your feet. But what makes Taurus different is their patience. In a world where everyone is rushing, chasing, panicking, Taurus waits. They wait, not because they're slow, but because they know something most people don't: good things grow slowly. They understand that anything worth having, whether a career, a relationship, or personal healing, takes time. Real time. Not days. Not weeks. Sometimes years. And they're not afraid of waiting. Imagine someone planting a seed and standing there calmly, watering it every day. trusting the earth without seeing proof yet. That's Taurus energy. They don't demand instant results. They trust the process. In negotiations, this patience makes them dangerous. While others act from desperation, Taurus remains calm, letting opportunities come to them. They observe. They calculate. And when the time is right, they act with precision. Even in relationships, their patience builds something rare, emotional security. You never feel rushed with them. You feel held. You feel accepted, even when you're messy. Even when you're healing. Taurus knows healing doesn't follow a schedule. They give people space to grow, and that's why others gravitate to them. Think about how many people you know who panic when life slows down. Taurus doesn't. Slowness isn't failure to them. It's nature's rhythm. They respect it. And in respecting time, they control it. But behind all this, behind the endurance, the loyalty, the patience, there's one thing Taurus rarely shows: their emotional strength. Because while people see them as steady, what they don't see is the inner battles Taurus fights every single day. They absorb the world's chaos without showing it. When conflict arises, they don't react impulsively. They don't explode. Instead, they step back, analyze, and respond only when necessary. Not because they're cold, but because they protect their inner peace like a priceless treasure. Have you ever wondered why Taurus seems unaffected by gossip, drama, or emotional storms? It's because they choose their reactions. They don't let others control their mood, their thoughts, their stability. This emotional discipline makes them nearly impossible to manipulate. People try. They fail. Taurus listens, but doesn't absorb. They observe, but don't get pulled into the chaos. And that's why people trust them. Taurus becomes the emotional anchor others cling to. In friendships. In love. Even in work. People gather around them like ships around a lighthouse. Because Taurus is not just strong for themselves, they're strong for everyone who needs them. Now ask yourself, do you know a Taurus who carries these traits? Or maybe, you're starting to recognize these patterns in yourself? Either way, understanding the emotional foundation of Taurus isn't just about understanding astrology. It's about learning how to build your own emotional resilience. Because life will always test you. The question is, will you collapse? Or will you, like Taurus, become the calm in your own storm? Let that question sit with you, as we continue to explore the deeper powers of Taurus. Stay with me. There's much more to uncover. Have you ever wondered why some people work tirelessly? Day after day, without seeking recognition? Why they don't complain, don't show off, just keep building, quietly? That's Taurus. But their hard work isn't just a habit. It's their way of proving something, to themselves. You see, Taurus doesn't chase dreams in the clouds. They want to touch their success. Hold it in their hands. Build something real. For Taurus, results are more than achievements. They're personal victories. Proof that their existence matters. Each hour spent working, every small step forward, is like laying another brick in the foundation of their life. They don't care if you notice. Because the real reward is internal. But that commitment can feel heavy sometimes. People around them may give up when the work feels too hard. Taurus doesn't. Not because they enjoy the struggle, but because they know the only way out is through. If you're someone who often feels stuck, lost, or tired, Taurus teaches one simple truth: keep going. Not for applause. Not for validation. But because consistency is what transforms effort into reality. It's what turns a plan into a life. And that's where their consistency shows its power. Taurus doesn't jump from project to project. They follow rhythms. Morning routines. Weekly goals. Small habits that, over time, create massive change. In a world full of distractions, their consistency becomes their greatest strength. And not just for themselves. Think about the people in your life you trust most. Chances are, they're the ones who show up again and again, no matter what. Taurus energy is exactly that. Quiet. Constant. Reliable. You may not notice at first. But when life gets messy, when everyone else disappears, Taurus is still there. Still steady. Still showing up. That's how trust is built. But this consistency isn't just about actions. It's about emotions too. Taurus stays steady inside their heart. They don't let every change of the wind move them. That's why people feel safe around them. Emotional safety isn't loud. It's not dramatic. It's found in small things. A text to check if you're okay. A silent presence when you're too broken to talk. A promise kept, even when it's hard. That's Taurus. And what makes them even more powerful is their sense of responsibility. For Taurus, responsibility isn't a burden. It's their identity. They believe that when they say they'll do something, it must be done. No excuses. No shortcuts. No matter how heavy the task feels. In work, that makes them the person everyone relies on. In friendships, they're the ones who remember your important day, even when you forgot theirs. In love, they don't promise forever if they don't mean it. And when they do, they keep it. But this deep sense of duty can also be exhausting. Taurus won't always admit when they're tired. They'll carry the weight silently. That's why. If you have a Taurus in your life, remember to check in on them. They may look fine. But sometimes, they need someone to say, you don't have to carry everything alone. And if you are a Taurus, maybe this is your reminder, it's okay to rest. You're allowed to lean on others too. Responsibility is beautiful. But sharing the load doesn't make you weak. It makes you human. And yet, under all this strength, all this reliability, lies something people often misunderstand about Taurus, their practicality. Taurus doesn't believe in complicated solutions. When problems arise, they look for what works. Simple. Clear. Effective. But here's the secret, their practicality isn't cold logic. It's self-protection. Life has taught them that dreams without action bring disappointment. That promises without proof lead to heartbreak. So, they simplify. They focus on what's real, what's tangible, what can actually move them forward. That's how they protect their heart. That's how they avoid emotional chaos. By choosing clarity over confusion. In relationships, this can make Taurus seem too grounded. Some may say they lack imagination. But the truth is, they're just careful. They've been hurt before. So, before they open their heart, they need to see something solid. If you love a Taurus, show them consistency, not promises. Show them stability, not chaos. That's how you'll earn their trust. And yet, within that practicality, there's an emotional wisdom many miss. Taurus knows that people, like life, are unpredictable. So, they build structures, routines, and plans not because they fear change, but because they respect it. They know that without preparation, chaos wins. Their practicality becomes their shield. Their quiet way of saying, I'm protecting my peace. Now, as we've explored these deeper layers of Taurus, think about what this really means. It's not just about astrology. It's about human behavior. About how some people build their life through action, consistency, and grounded decisions, even when no one's watching. Maybe you're starting to recognize these patterns in your own life. Or perhaps you're realizing how much you've misunderstood the Taurus people around you. Either way, remember this, steady doesn't mean stagnant. Silent doesn't mean emotionless. And practical doesn't mean unloving. Because in the next part of this journey, we'll uncover the final layers of Taurus energy. And I promise, the last 3 insights are the most surprising. Some may even challenge what you believe about Taurus completely. So, stay with me. What's coming next might just change everything. Taurus doesn't just seek comfort. They create it. Not only for themselves, but for everyone who steps into their world. Think about someone whose home always feels peaceful. The couch is warm. The scent is calming. The conversation is gentle. That's no accident. Taurus builds their environment like an artist. Every detail matters. But it's not about luxury or showing off. It's about survival. Comfort, for Taurus, is a form of emotional armor. Life outside is unpredictable, chaotic, loud. So inside their personal space, everything is designed to heal their nervous system. And yours. When Taurus invites you into their life, you're not just stepping into a room. That's why they guard their peace so carefully. It's not laziness. It's recovery. It's self-preservation. And it's something you can learn too. If life feels overwhelming, ask yourself, what comforts are you allowing into your space? Taurus teaches us that a peaceful environment is not a luxury. It's a necessity. But their love of comfort doesn't make them passive. Behind their gentle presence is a protector. Fierce. Quiet. But unmistakable. If you've ever been loved by a Taurus, you know this. They will defend you. Not with loud words or public drama, but with silent loyalty. They'll protect your reputation behind closed doors. They'll stand beside you when others turn away. And if anyone threatens someone they care about, Taurus becomes immovable. Their protective nature isn't about control. It's about love. A deep, instinctual need to create safety for their people. And they don't need recognition for it. They don't need thanks. They protect because it's who they are. And perhaps that's what makes it so powerful. While some sugarcoat their words to avoid conflict, Taurus tells it like it is. Not to hurt, but to protect. Lies, even small ones, feel like poison to them. They'd rather hurt you with honesty than betray you with silence. That's not coldness. That's integrity. Think about that friend who tells you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. The one who challenges your bad decisions, even when it costs them your approval. That's Taurus honesty. And it's a rare kind of love. In a world full of empty promises and polite lies, Taurus stands as a reminder that truth is a form of care. When they're silent, worry. When they speak, listen. Their honesty also protects them. People who try to manipulate a Taurus quickly learn, it doesn't work. You can't twist someone who values truth more than comfort. You can't deceive someone who watches actions, not words. Their straightforward nature filters out the false from their life. That's how they maintain peace. Not by avoiding problems, but by facing them head-on, with quiet courage. And here's where it gets interesting. You might think Taurus is rigid, unbending. But one of their deepest strengths is tolerance. Not the kind that tolerates anything and everything, but the kind that chooses peace over unnecessary judgment. Taurus knows everyone's fighting their own battle. They understand that perfection doesn't exist. That people make mistakes. That healing takes time. And so, they give others space. Space to grow. Space to explain. Space to simply be. They won't push you to change before you're ready. They won't judge you for the chaos inside your mind. They'll sit beside you in silence. Not needing to fix you. Just holding space, until you're ready to fix yourself. That's the quiet beauty of Taurus tolerance. But don't confuse that tolerance with naivety. They see the truth. They simply choose kindness. They choose to accept human flaws without internalizing other people's chaos. It's a boundary, disguised as compassion. And it's one of their most profound strengths. Now, pause for a moment. Think about these qualities. The love of comfort that protects their peace. The silent loyalty that guards your heart. The honesty that holds you accountable. And the tolerance that lets you be human, without shame. Taurus isn't simple. They're layered. Complex. Often misunderstood. But when you truly see them, you realize their strength isn't loud. It's quiet, calm, protective, and incredibly powerful. And yet, we're not done. Because in the final part of this journey, we'll explore the 3 most surprising Taurus traits. Traits that many people never see. Traits that, for some, might even seem like contradictions. But they hold the deepest truths about who Taurus really is. So, don't miss what's coming next. The final revelations might just change the way you see Taurus forever. Taurus doesn't need to be the center of attention. They don't crave the spotlight. What they crave is stability. The kind of stability most people only dream about. When life throws chaos their way, they don't run. They build. They create routines. They protect their peace. Taurus understands something most people forget, that safety isn't just physical. It's emotional. It's mental. It's the quiet certainty that no matter how loud the world gets, their inner world stays calm. Think about someone you know who never panics when plans fall apart. The person who always finds a simple solution when others are overwhelmed. That's Taurus energy at work. Their stability isn't just a personality trait. It's a conscious choice. They refuse to let the outside world control their inner world. They choose to stay grounded. And that choice is powerful. But how do they do it? The answer is simple and surprisingly deep. Taurus sees the world as it is. Not as they wish it to be. They don't get lost in fantasies. They don't chase empty promises. Their realism protects them. When others fall for illusions, Taurus steps back. They analyze. They ask the hard questions. Is this real? Is this sustainable? Will this lead me somewhere meaningful? That's their strength. And this realism isn't pessimism. It's protection. Taurus doesn't want to be disappointed. So they stay honest with themselves. They don't ignore their emotions, but they don't let their emotions drive their decisions. That's why they're seen as practical. But deeper than that, they're survivors. Their clarity helps them avoid traps that others can't see. In business, that means they rarely fall for get-rich-quick schemes. In relationships, it means they don't invest in people who aren't real with them. Their realism acts like a filter, sorting out what's true from what's not. And in that process, they protect their heart. But there's something more. Something most people miss. Taurus doesn't just avoid failure. They grow through it. Their resilience is quiet but unshakable. When life breaks them, they don't stay broken. They rebuild. Every setback becomes a lesson. Every failure, a stepping stone. They may take their time. They may fall silent. But deep inside, they're already healing. Already planning their next step. Because Taurus doesn't see failure as the end. They see it as a test. And they're not afraid to be tested. Imagine someone losing everything. Their job. Their relationship. Their security. Most people would fall apart. Taurus? They cry. They hurt. But then, they stand up. Slowly. Quietly. And they begin again. That's their secret. Life cannot defeat someone who refuses to give up. Their resilience isn't loud. It's not for show. It's for survival. And it inspires those around them. If you've ever felt broken, if you've ever felt like giving up, remember this: you can start again. Like Taurus. Not with grand gestures, but with small steps. With quiet persistence. You're allowed to rebuild. Even after the storm. Now, while Taurus builds their world, they also know how to enjoy it. And here's a truth many overlook. Taurus is deeply sensual. Not in a shallow way, but in a way that connects them to life itself. They feel the world through their senses. The taste of good food. The texture of soft fabrics. The sound of calming music. The warmth of human touch. All these things matter to them. Not as luxuries, but as reminders that life is meant to be felt. Not rushed through. Their sensuality is not about indulgence. It's about presence. About slowing down enough to truly experience each moment. That's why their love feels so deep. Why their presence feels so comforting. Being near a Taurus can feel like being wrapped in a warm blanket on a cold day. Safe. Comforted. Alive. They don't just move through life. They savor it. And they invite you to do the same. To stop. To breathe. To taste your coffee instead of rushing it. To listen to music. Not just hear it. To feel the sunlight on your skin and realize, this is living. But this sensuality isn't just personal. It's relational. Taurus creates connection through physical presence. A soft hand on your shoulder when words fail. A long hug when silence feels heavy. They understand that sometimes, comfort doesn't need words. It needs presence. A Taurus partner. A Taurus friend, they offer that. And often, without you even noticing. Now pause for a moment. Look back at what we've uncovered so far. Stability, realism, resilience, sensuality. Do you see the pattern? Taurus isn't just about surviving. They're about living well. Quietly. Steadily. Meaningfully. But don't be fooled. The deepest parts of Taurus are yet to be revealed. Because the final three strengths? They're not what most people expect. In fact, they might challenge everything you think you know about Taurus. These last three truths aren't just powerful, they're transformative. Stay with me. What's coming next will change how you see Taurus forever. Taurus has one more secret. Something people rarely notice, but once you see it, you'll understand them in a whole new way. Taurus is incredibly detail-oriented. But not in the way you might think. It's not about perfectionism. It's about presence. They notice the small things. The shift in someone's tone. The hesitation before an answer. The way someone avoids eye contact when they're hurting. These small details. Taurus catches them all. In relationships, this makes them incredible partners. They remember your favorite song. They notice when you're quieter than usual. They sense when your energy changes, even if you say, I'm fine. And they act on it. Not always with words. Sometimes with simple gestures. A warm meal waiting when you're exhausted. A hand to hold when you don't have the strength to speak. This quiet attentiveness builds emotional safety. But it doesn't stop there. In work, Taurus uses this focus to avoid mistakes others overlook. They read between the lines. They plan carefully. Their attention to detail is their silent weapon. It protects them. It guides them. And it often saves those around them from trouble they didn't even see coming. This precision is rooted in something deeper, a quiet need for control in a world that feels unpredictable. By mastering the small things, Taurus creates order. Calm. Safety. Not just for themselves, but for everyone they care about. And when Taurus makes a decision, they stand by it. Their determination is legendary. Once they choose a path, they follow it. Not recklessly, but steadily. Others may doubt. Others may give up. Taurus keeps going. Their mind doesn't waver. Their heart doesn't falter. They trust themselves. That's not arrogance. It's a quiet inner knowing, built through years of patience, experience, and silent reflection. Think about that person in your life who never quits. The one who, no matter how many obstacles appear, keeps walking forward. That's Taurus. Their determination isn't dramatic. It's not loud. It's a steady heartbeat. One step. One breath. One choice at a time. In relationships, this makes them fiercely loyal. Once they choose you, they're all in. They won't run at the first sign of struggle. They'll stay. They'll fight for the connection. For the friendship. For the love. Their determination makes them impossible to push away once they've decided you matter. But remember, this strength has another side. Once they decide to let go, there's no turning back. Their silence becomes final. Their absence, permanent. Because Taurus doesn't waste energy where there's no future. Their determination protects their heart. It keeps their life moving forward. And perhaps that's the final lesson Taurus teaches us. Decide carefully. But once you decide, trust yourself. Don't keep looking back. Don't question every step. Just move forward. Slowly. Steadily. With purpose. And now, as we reach the end of this journey, maybe you're seeing Taurus a little differently. Maybe you're seeing yourself a little differently. Because Taurus isn't just a sign. It's a way of living. A quiet strength. A patient heart. A steady hand that builds peace in a chaotic world. Maybe you saw yourself in their loyalty. In their need for comfort. In their realism. Or maybe you recognized someone you love. Someone who's been your quiet protector all along. If today's video helped you understand Taurus more deeply, or helped you understand yourself, I invite you to take a quiet moment. Reflect. Think about how you can bring a little more Taurus energy into your life. Maybe by slowing down. Maybe by trusting yourself more. Or maybe by creating a peaceful space where your heart can rest. And if you felt connected to this message, if you felt understood, I hope you'll subscribe to this channel. It's a small action, but it tells me you're here. You're part of this journey. And it lets me share more stories, more insights, more moments like this with you. And please, share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Someone strong. Someone steady. Someone who maybe doesn't realize how much they're carrying. This is just one part of the story. There's so much more to explore. Not just about Taurus, but about every sign, every heart, every soul seeking understanding in this complicated world. So stay close. More stories are coming. And maybe, the next one will speak directly to you.